I had the perfect job. It was my dream job at a university hospital. And then everything changed. We moved about an hour away, which meant I had to race up 95 every night in the passing lane, crazy worried about getting my son from daycare, hoping that I'd make it there on time. I was just so grateful to get there alive. It was so stressful. I hated it. So my cousin had found out about a job at Holy Redeemer, which ended up being 3 minutes from my house because I timed it. At that point, I realized I needed to consider leaving my job and looking for a job at Holy Redeemer. Until I found out it was for a manager in the OBGYN office. A manager? I don't know if I could do that. I was a billing coordinator. I had never been an office manager before. I didn't even know if I could do that job. And I didn't know anything about OBGYN. So when it came time to interview with the vice president of the department, I was a nervous wreck. I had been praying about this job, and when I walked into Marion's office and saw the crucifix over the door, I thought, maybe that was a sign. So when Marion and I sat down and she was talking about the mission and the sisters and what Holy Redeemer was all about, I connected with that and realized that's what I wanted to be part of. Because where I was coming from, that's not what it was about. It was more about the money and the business. So of course I felt I did terrible in the interview. I even went home and told my husband there was no way I was getting this job. But guess what? I did. I just kept thinking, could I really do this job? It was an important job. I was really nervous. I had never been a manager before. But then I thought back and realized God did give me that sign. So at that point, I was starting to get comfortable, real relaxed in my job. I felt like I finally knew what I was doing. And then one day, I get called into a meeting. Marion is sitting there with this big smile on her face, and she says,
we are going to be opening a pediatric urgent care center July 1. Now that is in less than 2 months, and we've got a lot to do, huge task, but I am not worried at all. And I'm confident because Michelle is going to be running it for us.
Who, me? I am? And since joining Holy Redeemer, I've had so many opportunities. I have learned so much. I've had so many different experiences and responsibilities.
I may have handed Michelle the pen for her life story, but she's the one who had to write it.
My story has been a winding journey for sure. Honestly, I have never been more scared, challenged, engaged, and ultimately inspired as I have been in my career here. I could never figure out what Marion saw in me, but I am so grateful she did.
Holy Redeemer, where stories come to life.